Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about how to create a water war or water wars in general. As a lot of us are seeing, guys, there are things going on with the water supply around the world that is definitely going to cause water wars in the near future. So, guys, while the prepper community, all of us, are focused on food crises that are coming because we have problems in Russia with a grain deal that they just walked away from. We have farms that are losing crops because of flooding, bad weather, whatever it is. Is it either too hot or it's too much water, right? So now we have this mix going on. We have African nations begging, if you will, the UN to help them out with the grain crisis that they see coming. Because a lot of these countries, guys, they pay attention to their grains. They count it. They know how much they have. And then they go, holy shit, we only have, whatever it is, 3 months, 6 months, a year left. So a lot of these African nations are starting to ask the UN for help because they see this coming down the pipe. Anyway, that being said, guys, the water wars are something that we are not paying attention to as we are watching water all over the world become contaminated. We have here in the United States specifically, we have a lot of problems with trains, trucks, and all kinds of shit overturning, collapsing, derailing into and or near our water source. Our water sources are continuing to get poisoned. We have the aquifer that's not refilling for some reason. Scientists are trying to figure out why isn't rainwater getting down to the aquifer to refill it. This was an article I saw probably a couple of years ago, and I was like, and when I saw that a couple of years ago, there it goes. There it goes. It's starting, and that started probably maybe about 5 years ago. I started seeing the aquifer problem. Now, in the last 2 years, we're seeing countless derailments of trains and or overturned trucks leaking its content into nearby water source. The biggest one we saw was in East Palestine, Ohio, where a train derailment leaked garbage, if you will, or chemicals, toxic chemicals, into waterways near that and into the ground, which can go into the groundwater, which connects to a lot of the waterways as well. So there is that problem. Then we have the problem of forever chemicals everywhere. Everywhere. It's in the air, it's in the rain, it rains back down into the aquifer, which the aquifer, the ground above the aquifer, if you will, is like a filtering system. So hopefully it can filter as much as possible. But forever chemicals, to my understanding, cannot be filtered. So water sources after water sources around the world are becoming contaminated and or run dry. We have places that are losing water supply because there are too many people, not enough people to supply the water, and so the water supply is dwindling. We have a problem that's going to rear its ugly head fairly soon in the Midwest and or western southern states like California, New Mexico, Arizona, Texas. They're not getting the amount of water they need, and they're talking about distributing water from other places, like rerouting the Mississippi River over towards California. I saw that nonsense. I was like, you got to be... For the governor of California to fix his mouth to say that, as the governor of Mississippi or any states that touch the Mississippi River, I'd have got on a plane, flew over to California, and punched him right in the face. We are not entertaining this bullshit. California wants to destroy their own state. Let them do it. They want to invite endless illegal immigrants into their state. Let them do it. You are not going to take our water because you don't know how to behave with yours. That is the interesting thing about this whole process, is that California, New Mexico, Arizona, they have a pact where they received water from the Colorado River and they get a certain amount, or they're supposed to take a certain amount. Now, California is asking for more. To boot, which makes matters worse that they're asking for more, they're asking other states to take less. So with that, guys, that seems to be a problem in itself. So water wars is right around the corner, especially when you have states like California telling other states to take less because we need more, and talking to other states about rerouting the Mississippi River. Which one side of me was very interested to see how this is going to work, how they were going to reroute it. Now, of course, those states told California to go fuck themselves, but the fact that they came up with the idea to do so, the fact that they came up with the idea to fuck other people just to entertain their bullshit is an alarming problem, because that is the first signs, guys, of water war. When you start making irrational claims or irrational suggestions. And some people are like, well, they was just suggesting it. No, the fuck, they weren't suggesting it. That was a feeler, if you will, a test to see what the reaction was going to be. Because once you start making stupid requests like, let's redirect the Mississippi River to California, or there was a river that connects to California, you got to be fucking kidding me. And that was over like 1,000 miles or so of redirection, because you don't know how to be responsible enough with your water, and you don't know how just to tell people to kick rocks. Now, granted, guys, the not the Hoover Dam, was it Lake Mead? That water is evaporating, so that's another problem that they're seeing over there. They're seeing a lot of evaporation of water over there, though there was this rainstorm that they had in California, in that area, that did help out with the drought problem they were having. But they're only going to run into that problem again. And so something does need to happen. But what? I mean, I'm not a scientist. I can't figure it out. But anyway, guys, with the water wars, you have corporations now trying to buy out spots of water, especially here in the East Coast, so that they own that land with the water that's on it, that's coming out of a mountain or spring or whatever it is. You had the Nestle CEO, this asshole, like Peter, whatever the hell his name is, he suggested that water rights for humans was a bit extreme, that corporations should own those water rights. That is not a human right for humans to own water. That should be a corporate thing. Once you start, and he said that a few years ago, but once you start to drop that seed into the ground, other corporations are going to catch on. So what do other corporations do? They buy land with water sources on it, and especially springs, so that they can own it. So they're trying to own that part, and I'm trying to figure out if they're going to sit there and play a slick game of owning all of that water because it's coming out of their spring. We are going to see water wars start here in this country first, between states, counties, cities, whatever it is. We're going to see that happen first. Then we're going to see a worldwide war over water. Now, there's a book and a movie called Blue Gold. If I'm not mistaken, they're both different, but they're both written by different people, or directed by different people and written by somebody else entirely. I don't think those two are connected. Nonetheless, they both talk about the war of water coming soon and how that's the new gold rush. Water. Clean drinking water. The WEF, World Economic Forum, talks about clean drinking water and what needs to be done to have enough clean drinking water. There enters depopulation. They mention it often. Well, to have more food and to have clean drinking water, we need to depopulate the planet. You see where this is going? So unfortunately, guys, probably later in our lifetime, we'll see water wars. I think we will see it in our lifetime, that's for sure, but we'll probably be too old to do anything about it. Nonetheless, guys, this is going to be a problem. Now, as far as rainwater goes and rain barrels, you definitely can stock your water that way. You can put water away now, but I don't know what that's going to look like in 20, 30 years. So yes, rain barrels are going to be a thing. You had certain states, I don't think they're doing it anymore, where they were trying to claim the rainwater as theirs and making rain barrel collection illegal. Now, I know Oregon was one of those states, and there was a couple others that tried to do it. I don't know where that went. I think it's still illegal because I know a lot of people are saying they're just putting the water barrels in the back of their home so that they can't be seen from the road or the driveway. So there is that. But still, guys, imagine you can't even collect rainwater because they say, oh, it doesn't It doesn't go back into the ground where it belongs. It's some crazy excuse that each state has. Nonetheless, guys, it's a problem. When they're telling you you can't collect rainwater, that is just the beginning. We haven't even touched the bad shit that's going to happen once we enter the actual blue gold war or water wars. Because once you enter that realm, we're talking about dehydration for millions of people if we go down that road. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.